Mr. Chair, that is all for now. Congratulations, my sister. Wish you all the best.
Thank you. I'll proceed to give the floor to Honorable Chiwete. You have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, if you may permit me, on page 2 of CV, under the leadership positions held, bullet 1, 2, 3, the 4th bullet, she has a member government assurances caucus. I do know assurances is a committee, so if we may correct that, I may stand wrong, but I think it should be a committee, assurances committee, not assurances caucus. We have population caucus, but assurances is a committee. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, my question to the nominee is, Honorable, considering the carnage on our roads, we all here are representatives of people from our various constituencies. Will you encourage every MP to be an ambassador for road safety in his or her constituency? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Nominee.
Yes, I think it's very important. It has to start from us being the members of parliament. We represent the people, and so when we speak, they listen. So we should take it upon ourselves to be the educators, to educate our various constituencies. Thank you.
Any further questions?
Mr. Chairman, I don't have further questions, except to indicate that she hasn't supplied me a checker for a very long time. Thank you.
Honorable Chiwete, you are not supposed to use our platform to request for a check. Alaji Omar, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chairman. Honorable Nominee, congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I think I have only one question for you. And it has to do with the ministry that you are going to. What practical strategies will you recommend to tackle the encroachment on transport infrastructure in the country?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Like I said earlier, those are purely administrative issues, and so when given the nod, I will assist my minister to make sure we put in place or we find solutions to that. Thank you.
I wish you well.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Omar. Yes, I will proceed to give the floor to Honorable Patrick Yabwama.
Mr. Chairman, the nominee, congratulations, Honorable Member, anyway.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Reading your CV, you've indicated that you love to travel a lot, and that you've provided over 4,000 women and youth with some credit facilities in Jomoro.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
4,000.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And credit facilities, you indicated. But you are not a financial institution, a member of parliament. How did you achieve this?
So it was a program I put together, but I did it through the Jomoro Rural Bank. So I was more so like a guarantor. I guaranteed the loan, and so they were paying it through the bank. So it was a loan from the bank, but there was no interest, nothing. And I was able to do that for about 4,000 women in my constituency.
That's very impressive. My last and final question, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Chair, you went through a lot. The Citizenship Amendment Act to the Constitution is the 1990 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana Amendment Act 96, and it details those who qualify to hold certain positions, including members of parliament. Last night, social media was awash with the president nominating a South Korean national to be our ambassador to the Republic of South Korea. I know I've checked, and I realized that the gentleman has handed in his passport to the High Commission. You went through some turmoil with your citizenship, and I'm sure it took a toll on you during your term as a member of parliament. Can you tell us a bit about what you went through, what necessitated that, and your advice to people who may be sitting around the table with dual nationality and other documents that they've not disclosed to Parliament? Mr. Chair, that's my last question, but I want to wish you the very best. God bless you.
Thank you. So, Mr. Chairman, it wasn't easy for 2.5 years. I was back and forth, from court. It wasn't easy at all. It's something I wouldn't wish it on anybody. But since it's been closed, the case is closed in court, I don't think I want to go into detail on that. But what I can say is that it was not easy for me, and I thank God that at the end of it all, I was able to sail through successfully. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Jerry Ahmed Shaib, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I want to first of all congratulate the nominee and also wish her well. Chair, I have a few questions. The first one is on the very high clearing cost and port congestion. I think they move or work hand in hand. The fact that the clearing costs at the ports are high, people are unable to clear their goods. And this is a major problem for the Ghanaian people. As you go in as Deputy Minister, do you have any ideas, any plans you intend to share with your minister so that we take care of this high clearing cost and congestion? Congestion to the extent that some containers cannot even be found. We saw the Minister of Energy come to make such a... So can you please come up with some suggestions as to how to, as it were, reduce the high clearing cost and consequently high congestion at the ports?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I'm aware of the high cost that Honorable Leader is talking about, but it's a concern to His Excellency the President. He wants businesses to thrive, and so it's something that he's working on it with my sector minister. And so when I'm approved, I will, with his directive, we'll put our heads together and take directives from His Excellency the President and see how best we can resolve the congestion and the high taxation that you're talking about. Thank you.
Any further question?
Yes, follow up on that one. So with this, it's come to our notice that some vehicles that are of a certain year, maybe 10 years, and so we are in 2025, so a vehicle that is about 2014 or 2012, there are some extra charges or penalties, and that amounts to some high cost. So some of these cars are still kept there. Would you, as a nominee, make a proposal that, or suggest to your minister that, and perhaps to the president, that we should perhaps let these penalties be waived so that people still can clear their vehicles?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I will do that, but it will be at the discretion of my sector minister and His Excellency the President. But definitely, I'll make those suggestions and see how best we can work together on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, my second question, I know the nominee to have traveled wide. I'm sure one of the places she may have gone to, which most of the people on the table may have been, is the UK, and the use of train. Therefore, I'm talking about railway. Do you have any other plans? Do you have any plans in getting Ghana enforce the use of railways? First of all, make sure we have railways all over the place, especially from Jomoro to Accra or Tema, especially for goods. You want to cut goods from Jomoro to Accra. Would you suggest to your minister and the president how we can perhaps put this out there and get railway functioning?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, I will do that. Because, I think my suggestion, one of the things that when I'm giving the nod, I will work with my sector minister to look into is to open it up for private investment or investors to come on board to see how we can revamp the sector to make it viable to help us as a country. Thank you.
Would you recommend a railway line from Jomoro to Tema?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I will. Because, I mean, it would help. Yes. Yes. Yes, I will.
Mr. Chair, when the nominee was being sworn in, I could feel a very different accent. And in the subject matter and
So
all,
you want to ask a question
and the bank? Yes, I'm asking a question, Chair. I want to be convinced that the nominee is a full-time Ghanaian and therefore can recite the national pledge.
Well, the question is, he wants to ascertain whether you can recite the national pledge. No, the question is, can you or you cannot?
I can, but if you can waive the question for me, I can.
Very well. Your question has been answered.
Mr. Chair, I'll let it pass.
Thank you very much. I will give the floor to Honorable Haji Aladi Ayamba.
Thank you very much. Jerry, stop it. My dear sister, congratulations.
Thank
you know, they've been expecting that I'll tell you that congratulations and bye-bye. But I won't do that. You know why? Because, Chairman, let me restate this. They believe that we cannot speak the English language. That is why we go that way. They do not know that we do it on purpose. I've looked at your CV. I've listened to you. And I appreciate you, how far you have come. I know you will do and put up your best. Your responses sends a message. You have simply told me that you are just there because all your responses are that with the minister. You know where you are, you know where you are going to, and you know how you are going to do it. So I only wish you the best. The question I want to ask you is that you mentioned in your response to one of the first persons that asked you about how trucks carrying heavy loads do spoil our roads and what have you. And it's quite bad because I'm on the Roads and Transport Committee and I know that just 1 kilometer of asphalted road is more than $1 million, which is too much. Will you suggest to your minister that you work hand in hand with the Minister for Roads to ensure that trucks do not load more than necessary, and that you will take the trouble to be part and parcel of getting first-hand information, not sitting and being an armchair deputy minister. Will you do that? I want a short answer, no long stories.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, I will do that. Thank you.
Great. You spoke about how you supported 4,000 women. So I don't doubt your support for women. You've also mentioned that the transport sector is a sector where most women are left out. It's not because they can't. You know, we women, wherever we put ourselves, yes, we can, and we will do it, and do it better than the men. I know your minister very well. Will you support him to ensure that there are more women, especially driving our public buses, which would be in your domain? I've seen a few, but I want more. And will you ensure and support him that for every sector where there is transportation or transportation works, any organization, that you would have the 30% women being recruited if the opportunity arises? So it's 2 in 1. One is a yes, and then the other one, you can say whatever you want to say.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, the first answer to the first question is yes. And the other one is I will definitely do that, to work hand in hand with my minister when I'm giving the nod, to make sure that every area that we can push to bring women there, I will do so. Like I said earlier in my introduction, I said I'm very passionate about women empowerment. So that is an area that I'm known for. Even in my constituency, when it comes to area of women and children and people with disability, I do not play with that. And so I will work hand in hand with my minister to make sure that we give the space to the women, and not just at the bottom, but at the decision level. Thank you.
Chairman, she is an MP worth it. She has gone through a lot. She has struggled, but she has always made herself visible, and she's always been there. We are members of parliament. Women, for now, I think we are 41 or so, either 40 or 41. I don't want to tell, and then, so we are 41. And if you are to make projections, give education, support women, especially in that sector, you have not less than 41 women whom you can easily discuss and bring to the fore, so that they will support you to achieve your aim in getting more women. Will you come back to parliament and ensure that you work with the women caucus, notwithstanding who is coming from where? Because I know that your place, you do not know that I've been to Shama before. I've been to Shama. I came and worked there when your Honorable Asirifi was there. So I know that place. So will you come back and ensure that you work with us so that we will help in projecting the sector in our various places? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, I will. Thank you.
So, very fast, very quick. I wish you the best. You can always count on me and count on the rest. And don't hesitate. We will support you and ensure that women are realized. And I will thank the president very, very much. The last 4 appointments he made, 3 women, 1 man. I'm the happiest. I ate TZ that day like it was no one's business. So take care of yourself and work harder.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. I'll proceed to give the floor to Honorable Patricia Piaget, Deputy Ranking Member.
Right. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate our sister on the other side for being given such a huge responsibility The responsibility as we see it is something, the number of issues and challenges within your sector, which we as a nation needs to address. So I would first like to find out from you whether you know that there's a Road Traffic Act in existence, and whether that act, the original one, and whether that act has been amended, and what it seeks to address. Thank you.
As well. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think I didn't get the question very well. If Honorable Patricia can repeat the act.
I'll give you a brief about that. And I know that the Road Traffic Act was enacted. The earlier one is Act 683, and the subsequent one, the amended one, is the Act 761. The reason why I'm asking you this is that it has been amended because of the challenges within our transport system. Because if in order to ensure that movement is smooth, people have accessibility, and we need sustainable roads to ride on. These things have been taken care of. As a deputy minister, you always come to Parliament and you hear that when questions are being put to ministers, ministers don't normally find the time to attend to the floor of Parliament because currently most of them don't even have deputies. Once you are going to be the deputy, I suspect you will be the face of Parliament and your ministry or your sector. So I'm looking at the situation where we have enacted laws for movement of transport and all that. And all these enactments, all these laws are being flouted. When people flout the laws, no penal, how are you going to ensure that we have a transport committee in Parliament? And therefore, there's the need to review these acts to give implementation of this thing to it. So how are you going to ensure that you recommend to your minister to ensure that we review these ones to make it a bit biting? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Yes, when I'm giving the nod, I would check with my minister and sit with him and see how best, and suggest some, or make some recommendations and take it before the committee to see how best we can make that work. But currently, I think it's been reviewed. It's been reviewed. So I would liaise with my minister and see how best we can make changes to make things better. Thank you.
Honorable, the revised National Transport Policy emphasizes accessibility. It also emphasizes inclusivity and sustainability. And all these emphasis is aiming to create a transport system that serves all Ghanaians regardless of age, ability, or socio-economic status. However, many transport systems, such as Trotro, are not designed with persons to accommodate persons with disability. And you know our rural areas too, it lacks some connectivity. how would you assist your minister to ensure that transport policies prioritize inclusivity and sustainability, particularly for the marginalized groups and rural communities? Thank you, my sister.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, when I'm giving the nod, I would, together with my minister, sit and see how best we can look into the challenges that you have mentioned and see how best we can make it work for everybody. So nobody will be left behind. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Earlier on, a question was asked of you, whether, what recommendation would you make to your minister on the issue of electric vehicles? And you know the challenges that we have at the moment. Are you sure? The first question is, are you sure we have enough EVs or charging system? If we don't have enough, do you think it should discourage Ghana to reintroduce them and ensure the use of electric transport system? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, with the briefing I had with my minister, I was told that 10 buses are currently in Ghana. Of course, 100 were ordered, 10 were delivered, 4 of them are working. The other 6 has problems with the charging system, but he has resolved that and also made contact with the company that initially started. So they are making it better where it will be able to accommodate that. So changes have taken place. And so I will work once again with my minister to make sure that, because it's a good thing, like I said earlier, it's environmentally friendly and also cheaper. And so once we're able to sensitize the public and let them know the benefits and all that, I think it would work. So we'll find good companies that will be able to give us the best. So I'll work with my minister to see how best we can do that so that we can be part of the global world, because that is what everybody is transitioning into, and Ghana should be part of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nominee. You've answered excellently on this. So my next question I want to put to you is that what kind of transport mix would you recommend? Currently, look at our railway system. Do you think improving on our railway system and then looking at even the tram system, which will also require electrification, will be something that you will recommend in future for implementation in looking at our transport mix at this point in time? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, that is something that I'll consider and look at it together with my minister when I'm giving the nod to see how best we can revamp that sector, because it would benefit the country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think your exposure to living in other parts of this world encourages you to have such a bright future for the transport system in our country. And I'm going to pray for you that you work at it and ensure that you will have a very wide transport mix and mobility will not be a challenge as we are facing now in the country. Thank you very much, and I think that's all that I have for you. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. And Honorable Patricia is a mentor to me. She inspires me a lot. Of course, all the women, ever since I came to Parliament, I've been emulating, learning from her. She encourages most of us, and she's part of the reason why, in Parliament, I'm able to do most of the things that I do. And so I want to take this opportunity to thank her as well for being a mentor.
Thank you very much. I will give the floor to Honorable Ricket Kweku-Hagan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Nominee, my sister, congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I have no doubt in your ability, your competence, your resilience of what you've been through to do this job. Transport is a huge place. But then you have a very able minister who is also a member of this house. So I know you will be in good hands. Your job basically is to follow what your minister, who makes the policy, will ask you to do. And then be able to offer advice if he asks for one. But I know that you do a good job. I mean, the questions that have been asked here and the answers you've given, I have no doubt that you do well. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you very much. Yes.
You want me to continue?
Well, you have exhausted your time. I do not know what instruction the leader has given.
For leader, he said this.
You want to ask a question for?
I cannot ask him, but he said he's coming.
But the difficulty is how we can be waiting. Yes. Well, we are done. I will use the opportunity to congratulate you and thank you very much for attending upon the committee and responding to questions. We would acknowledge the presence of your revered guests, and thereafter you are discharged. You hear from the committee.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'm most grateful.
Thank you very much, Chair. I will acknowledge the guests who accompanied Honorable Dorcas here this morning to support her. Nana Adai Blade III, MPM Chief, Nana Twenebua the First, Amokom Swazu Chief, Nana Ya Jindo the Third, Ghana Nungwa Queen Mother, Obahima Evia Panyele, Kabin Laswaze Queen Mother, Tufuhene Eric Esia Bonyele Tufuhene, Francine Yakun Kofi, Ni Ama Junior son, Mr. Kofi Asma, family friend, General Augustine Blay, Council of Elder for Jomoro constituency, Uncle Pepe Mana Yela, family friend, Nana Acha, brother-in-law, Mrs. Efia Acha, sister and pastor, Stephen Bedu, family pastor, Abubakar Amadou, MP's personal assistant, Dr. Francis Hoba, MP's manager, John Kessie, Nyameke constituency PA, Anthony Ama Bentley constituency chairman, Honorable Benedict Bwedi MCE, Emmanuel Ndaku Bentley constituency secretary, Agnes Nwia constituency woman organizer, Nana Toku NDC Western Region chairman, and last but not the least, Charles Edu Fojo, NDC Western Regional Organizer. Thank you very much, and thank you for coming.
Well, all regional chairmen, you are duly acknowledged.
I'm reading from
Thank you very much for coming. Honorable nominee, you are hereby discharged. Our second nominee should be in readiness to take the chair. Honorable nominee, we have finished with you. Kindly take leave of us. Honorable members who want to take photograph, we have another nominee to take. May you take the photograph outside? Our next nominee should take his seat. Honorable Jachi Kwasin. Honourable member, you are welcome.
Thank you, Chairman.
Honourable members, the meeting is called to order. Meeting called to order. Honourable nominee, following a letter dated 9th July 2025 from His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, you've been designated as a Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs. We've therefore scheduled you as the second person to be vetted for today. We've just finished your colleague, Honorable Dorcas Toffee. So it is now your turn. You are welcome. You are here to be vetted. So, honorable members, without much ado, I will call on the clerk to administer the oath.
I, James Jachi Kwesen,
do in the name of the Almighty God swear.
Do in the name of the Almighty God swear.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
Touching the matter in issue.
Touching the matter in issue.
Shall be the truth.
Shall be the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Honorable nominee, once again you are welcome. I will then give you the floor to briefly tell us about yourself.
Thank you, Chairman. I would like to ask Chairman if I can, with your permission, just observe a few seconds of silence in memory of our late colleague, Ernest Yakumi, because he was very much affected with me.
Yes, permission granted.
Thank you, Chairman.
Shall we rise to observe 1 minute? May his gentle soul rest in perfect peace. Amen.
Thank you, Chairman. I will proceed to respond to your question about myself. Obviously, my name is James Jachi Kwesen, Member of Parliament from Asin North, a second-term member now. I was born in Asin Fosu. My hometown is Asin Breku. I have additional 7 siblings, 4 brothers, including myself, and 4 sisters. My big sister, the eldest of the family, sitting right behind me, attended preparatory school at Penwet Preparatory School. That was located in Accra. After that, went to Fantipim Secondary School. When I completed Fantipim Secondary School, I did 3 years at Winneba Teachers College. Thereafter, I went to Canada in 1979. I pursued college education in Canada. First, I took up to nuclear engineering for a 3-year program. After graduation, I taught as a lab assistant, teaching supply. From there, I went to went to York University for my bachelor's in sociology and political science, and a master's in urban and community development. I came back, worked with the Canadian government at the municipal level for 29 years. The last position was I was a district manager for area offices of 5. Finally decided I want to come home and help my community as in North, and also to join hands with my people here to develop the country, Ghana, and of course, Africa. I'm a strong Pan-Africanist, and I've always been championing this even in Canada as well as in Ghana. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. We shall proceed with vetting by asking you questions, and we humbly urge upon you to provide answers to the questions posed to you. Starting from the subject matter committee members, I will proceed to give the floor to Nana Addo Kenneth. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to, first of all, congratulate the nominee for this appointment and to wish him well. I would first want to find out from him how he's going to help his minister, since the minister has talked about economic diplomacy. How is he going to help the minister promote Ghana's economic interests abroad and attract foreign investments for the country?
Thank you, Chairman. It's a very important question. Ghana, as we all know, has been champion of Black Africa, the Black Star. And that is one of my fundamental beliefs. I know I'm moving into a sector that has a minister, and Minister Blackwell and I have a very good relationship dating back from 2021, and I'm very sure that we will be able to forge together a good understanding and working relation in line with the policy of the various departments under our ministry. Thank you.
Any further question?
Yes. You did indicate that you are Pan-Africanist. Would you share with this nation how that passion would drive you to help build a borderless Africa?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This has always been my dream, that one day this continent will unite its people, because we all know united stronger than individual small nations. And the fundamental basis of our foreign affairs policy is dated back from when we had independence, when Kwame Nkrumah, our first president, Dr. Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah, indicated that the independence of Ghana was meaningless unless it's linked up to the total liberation of the continent. I still believe strongly in that principle. And I think with that, we can be able to put together our resources, be a mighty force for global trade and relationship. Thank you.
Any further question? Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The last one that I want to find out from the nominee is that looking at the current challenges within the sub-region, how are you going to support your minister to engage ECOWAS to look out for Ghana's interests as well as solve some of the challenges within our sub-region? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. You see, our sub-regions are all brothers and sisters. This is something that has been played upon us by the colonialists. Ghana, Burkina Faso, Niger, Cote d'Ivoire, Mali, we are no different from one another. And I'm very sure that Ghana has always remained a non-aligned. We have always, from independent time, been a non-aligned movement, which Nkrumah had been very much strengthened and forward with India when they forged this non-aligned movement. Let's extend that to our brothers and sisters. There may be differences in the household in their various countries, but that shouldn't set us apart. We should continue with diplomacy, speak to them. There's always a reason why there's some conflict somehow happening. And we should also be able to identify the people behind these conflicts, where the weapons are coming from, and how we can improve the quality of life of our people. Our youth needs help, and this applies to almost every corner of Africa. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll give the floor to Honorable Safaji.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Nominee, I would like to once again congratulate you. Mr. Chairman, I want to premise my question on a release from the ministry, allegations on issuance of Ghanaian passport to foreigners. Deputy Minister Nominee, there are a lot of weaknesses within our embassies. Delay of passports, extortion, poor working condition, passport frauds, all these are weaknesses within our embassies. As a Deputy Minister Nominee, how are you going to work with your minister to ensure that some of these weaknesses within the embassies will be dealt with? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I'm very happy that Honorable Member is asking this question because it's in the minds of many people. There's a policy in place. I just had my briefing at the ministry a couple days ago. There's policies in place, and I'm sure some has been demonstrated by introducing this new passports with a chip embedded, which is not easy to forge. You need a primary identification in order to be able to process one of those. So I'll work along with my sector minister, and then we can be on the same page to work to make things much better for, again, we have to enforce we have to do some enforcement to make sure. See, all these rules and regulations are in place, but if we don't apply enforcement, we're not going to get anywhere. So that is one area that I'm going to add my strength to the ministry to make sure that we don't take enforcement for granted. Thank you.
Any further question?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The nominee, your experience, having lived in Canada for so many years. I mean, Canada, US have a lot of things in common. And quite recently, Ghana is having a bit of challenge between the diplomatic relations between Ghana and US, which has even resulted in some 3 months visa and then single entry and all that. This requires a deep, high-level diplomatic engagement. Having known you, your experience traveling afar and all this one, how do you blend your experience to support your minister to deal with some of these challenges that we are having with our US-Ghana relations?
Thank you, Chairman. I believe most of these bilateral relationships, Ghana and the US had a common understanding of a 5-year visa, that if an American citizen was coming here, he would get 5-year duration of a visa and vice versa. Unfortunately, as we all know, there's been some nationalistic administration with Trump's presidency, which is affecting a lot of issues. And I personally believe that with some diplomacy, because this has not been anything official presented to the government of Ghana as yet. So we are just going to have to apply and intensify our diplomacy to make sure that we're able to reciprocate this. And of course, if things are not working in our favor, we also have other tools we can work with. So I want to assure you that I will be working closely with Minister Brakwa with my experience and exposure to make sure some of these things are addressed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I once again want to congratulate you and also admonish that, I mean, your composure and your temperament would be a good blend to your minister, so that at least the ministry will have some very cool atmosphere around the ministry. I would want to congratulate you once again and wish you well. The committee would also be willing and ready to help you perform. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman, and I want to thank my colleague here.
I
Thank
will
you.
give the floor to Honorable Seidu. Cletus.
Dapla, yes,
Dapla.
Vice Chairman, Foreign Affairs Committee. My senior brother, Uncle Kwesin, congratulations. I would not ask you a question, except to commend you for your determination and tenacity to hold the fort since you veered into the political arena of Mother Ghana. I know you've gone through a Herculean task in this career. I have been very close to you and I've interacted with you. I know you are going into the ministry to support your boss to deliver the mandate of Ghana's foreign policy. And I have no doubt that if you get the blessings of this committee, you will deliver. You will give that support to the Honorable Ablaka. The two of you, I know you can gel very well. So for me, it's just to say that God will give you the energy, the resilience to support your boss to deliver on Ghana's foreign mission policy. And that is all that I want to tell you. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you, Chairman. Thanks for your comment.
I will then give the floor to Honorable Van der Poy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Let me also add my voice to thanking His Excellency for nominating you. And you and I have worked together in many ways and in many activities. So I know what you can do. I'm happy to see you where you are seated. You are going into a ministry that has a high demand on our national agenda. And I know that you are going to support our Minister, Abrakwa, in that ministry. One question. I want you to take the opportunity to assure this committee of your readiness and your support to the minister to ensure that he delivers the agenda of moving Ghana's image to the highest level. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, my good friend. I recognize that as well, and I want to thank the President, Mahama, for his nomination of myself. I know that this is a ministry that is pivotal to the country's development. So with my experience and exposure, again, we are going to line up a lot of stakeholders, I can assure you, at least in Canada and US, to bring in resources, technology, IT, as much as we can to improve our economy so that our youth can get some gainful employment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Aliklim Makurugu, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Congratulations, Uncle, as I affectionately call you when I meet you in the chamber. You are going to work with a minister who is old enough to be your son. How are you going to cope with him? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. I know Africa has a very esteemed culture where children listen to their parents. So I'm hoping, and I'm sure and I'm certain that Minister Blackwell and I, as I said earlier, have a relationship that dates back since 2021. And we are going to continue with our relationship and make sure, because you see, when he succeeds, I succeed. So we're going to succeed together. Thank you.
Any further question?
Thank you. Yes, please. I'm told, or I've heard, that other countries, including Nigeria, our neighboring country, anytime they apply for visas in foreign embassies and they are not accepted, the monies are refunded. How is Ghana going to adopt this as well? Thank you.
Yes, I think this is administrative policy, again, sector policy that we have to look into, because I personally believe that most of these so-called advanced countries are milking our people. On an average, most African youth, because of lack of opportunities, want to travel outside. A visa is not cheap. Even just the application form alone is about $160, which could be a month or 2 months pay for some of our youth on a labor. And this means these embassies are collecting this money and denying almost 90% to 95% of them. We have to find a way to streamline this to save youth the money. Most of these countries are using that as a revenue to support their embassies. And if we don't know that, we think that, oh, they're rich countries, so they're able to afford to set up embassies. That's not the case. Most of the revenues are coming from us to support their embassies, and we've got to find a way to put an end to that. Thank you. And I work with my minister to make sure any policy that we put together will be something that can be of interest. Because you see, foreign policy is not about protecting the foreign or the foreign nations only. First and foremost, it should be protecting us. It should be reciprocated. Our domestic policy is what we extend to the foreign policy. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, no further questions. I'm wishing you all the best, Uncle.
Thank you very much. It's now the turn of Honorable Omar. You have the floor.
Thank you, Chairman. I always call my big brother old soldier. Old soldier, congratulations. I'm so happy for you today. And ever since your nomination was announced, haven't stood your grounds, and also a trailblazer for the Bintus. I know you understand the Bintus. As a Bintu, this position, you become ambassador, you become a trailblazer, and you will become the conduit for others in the diaspora to come back home and serve their nation, having acquired a lot of knowledge and experience that this country needs. My question to you today, and we're going to have some discussion. Will you consider, I know you are not the main minister, to outsource your visa processing to third party so that we won't have a lot of backlog, particularly in the diaspora? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If I want to understand my colleague clearly, it's about visa applications for Ghanaians in the diaspora coming back home. Thank you. You see, that is why I think about 3 years ago, we tabled an amendment to not the visa applications, but we did table, if I recall, refresh my memory, that dual citizenship amendment bill. This is something that we have to take very important as a nation, because we look at our GDP and remittances from the diaspora alone is one of the major contributors, along with our gold and our cocoa. Those are the three leading income GDP for the nation. And to just look at that and not tap into the wealth, the knowledge, the experience, and add it to what we already have home, we'll be doing ourselves a disservice. A lot of nations have recognized that. Even the UK does that. But here we are, and I'm sure all of you are testimony to what I went through, just to be part of the system, to try to pave a way for others to come. I know I have a lot of followers who are looking to see the success story, and I want to thank every one of you here. I know there was tremendous support from the House, even my brothers and sisters on the other side, who will reach out to me personally to encourage me. Even though it wasn't a party policy, they came out in their own humane sense to come and give me encouragement. And these are some of the people that kept me going. And the more reason why I asked for us to bow or stand at least for a moment for our brother who has left us. You see, nobody should be going through such things. So I'll kindly come back to the House. One of these days we have the Professor Asari, popularly known as Kweku Azar, who championed this dual amendment, citizenship dual amendment, thing that we can all make sure that our children, our grandchildren can come back and bring the expertise and the income and the resources. And I personally know a lot of my counterparts who are heavily invested, but just afraid to leave everything and come, because if they come, they've lost their investments. If they know they can have both ways, they'll bring this investment. Not everyone is coming for politics. There are investors out there, there are scientists, there are IT experts, professors, and all of them. So, answer to your question is, my brother, I'll work tirelessly along with my minister to see how best, and also with the House, to see how we can pass this dual amendment bill. That will eradicate the challenges they have. But in the meantime, before that goes into effect, I'll work with Minister Blackwell to make sure that we can facilitate a quick process for them to get a visa if they intend to come to their homeland. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to policy. Foreign policy. Are we still non-aligned?
Well, Ghana has always been aligned. From foundation, from our independence day, thanks to our great visionary, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah Sajifo, when we got independence, he was championing an aligned movement. You see, what it puts a country in a line, you are more stable, because policies and systems and ideologies keep changing with population growth and challenges in managing communities all the same. So to be non-aligned is the best, I think, and so Ghana answer is we're still non-aligned for what I know. But also I will work with Minister Blackwell to make sure that that is the direction of the government that we are. Of course, I cannot part from government policies, but if there's a need for me to advocate, I will do so. Thank you.
Comrade and old soldier, I wish you the best. Congratulations.
Thank you, my brother. Chairman.
Yes, Honorable Patrick Yao Boma.
Thank you very much, Chair. Congratulations, my very, very, very good friend and senior brother. We're all proud of you. It's not a question, but to bring your mind to some of the issues that our foreign service officers go through. I advise that you take a very close look at that. There's an issue in one of the neighboring countries. I don't want to mention it, very, very sensitive before us, that I'll be discussing with you. You need to support your minister, look at the affairs of our foreign service officers. They go through a lot. Some of them life-threatening, and we must look at it. Secondly, if I heard you right, I stand to be corrected. Are you, in a way, saying that we should make things flexible for nationals, African Americans, and non-Ghanaians to acquire citizenship of Ghana and to bring into this country the investment that we require? I just want to be clear on that before I ask my question.
Thank you, Chairman. When I made that comment or statement, I was referring at this point in time strictly to our Ghanaian nationals who are outside, not non-Ghanaian nationals. Thank you.
Well, that's very clear because I chair the subsidiary legislation committee, and before us are some proposals to increase the fees for non-Ghanaians, African Americans who want to acquire Ghanaian citizenship. And it's increased. The proposal is between $10,000 to $25,000. And you must also show proof that you are coming into the country to invest not less than $250,000. So those are some of the things that we'll be considering on Monday at the committee. That's why I asked you, but it has nothing to do with you. But I wish you well. You are one of my very good friends in the House, and you've exhibited tenacity and courage, and we are all behind you to support my good friend and Okujeto Ablakwa. But don't be tweeting at 2 a.m. on oral stuff. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much, Honorable Patrick Yaboma. I'll give the floor to Honorable Haji Aladi.
Thank you, Chairman. My brother, congratulations.
Thank you, my sister.
Your appointment is well deserved. What I recall about you is when we were at Asin North and then the rain was pouring down so heavily. You were drenched in your T-shirt and we were also struggling and trying not to slip and fall. We said, God, just help us. And he did. You are a fighter, you fought. I think I had the courage, but I don't have your type of courage. But I know where it is coming from. Continue to have that courage. You are going to be the Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs, and the one you are going to deputize is someone who is so open, very open. He says it as it is. And I also saw that in you even before you won the Asin North supposed by-election that we came for. So I know you are going to be able to work. What will you do specifically to support your minister? I just want one thing. I don't want more than two. Just one. One thing you will do to support your minister, because you have seen it all, to ensure that our people who are being deported, especially from the US, they are supported by our own persons there, especially the embassies, so that they come back home safely and that they are properly communicated to understand that, look, after all, if you travel to another man's land and it's not good, you go back to your own land. What will you do specifically to support him?
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, my sister. It's a very brilliant question. This is something that it just doesn't take diplomacy alone. Sometimes you need to understand the dynamics of how these cultures that we are alien to, how it works. And I know I have an inside knowledge and strength that I can support it to Minister Ablakwa to make sure that we put certain institutions in place. Sometimes it's not just the embassy alone we need. We need a support system attached to these embassies so that some of our nationals who are out there can go there for support. You see, most of these embassies are closed after certain hours. You have individuals who are out there, sometimes can't even stay in their own homes because they are afraid they'll be arrested and deported. Nobody wants to travel and just be taken by surprise to be brought home, unprepared. Some of them don't even own a bank account, for that matter, because they're afraid that, where's the identification to open a bank account? You're working under the table, they call it there, which means it's not documented employment, and then you keep all your money with you, or hopefully you get somebody you can trust to hold it for you, whatever the person decides to change their mind on you. So there's a lot of work we need to do in such areas, especially the major hotspots like New York, Toronto, UK, like London, and all those areas we need to put. And I'll be working with Minister Ablakwa to enlighten some of these challenges that some of our people are going through down in those major communities and cities and countries. So my sister, be rest assured that I think the President, in his wisdom, made a good choice adding me to this sector so that we can make it grow and make Ghana a better place. If we improve our country here, most of those youth out there will not even find their way out. They would rather come home and work for us. Thank you.
My second question, Chairman, to the nominee is, if you observe the issue of those who actually travel and go and get either even some of them killed in these Saharan places, some in the sea, some don't even go anywhere, they are killed. Mostly they are youth. A few times I have watched some documentaries, they are boys, very strong ones. Except maybe one or two at a time you may see a girl. Most of them are our energetic youth. Will you ensure that you lace hand in hand with the support and agreement of your minister to talk to our embassies across, not even to the Western world, our own African continent, the countries that they cross, so that these people are given the opportunity where you will meet them, talk with them, and encourage them to rather go back, instead of allow them, because they are afraid, they try to hide, and eventually they get trapped and killed. Will you get them so that you could talk, come together, and you, with your experience, you would help in ensuring that they are given that communication to come back rather than pursue what they are doing? Because even recently, we've heard of people being taken to nowhere but just Abidjan. What are the things that you, will you do that to make sure that you support us to get our youth to stay back? Just a yes or no answer. Will you do that?
Thank you, Chairman. I will offer yes or no answer. I think what I will add to is that we should beef up our communication here in the country as well. We will liaison with the Ministry of Communication to feature some of these things so that the youth would understand. Because you see, when you're desperate, anybody can lure you into something that you heard about a QNet and all that. They take them out there. They find a way to extort the little money they have, and then they leave them stranded. So yes, we would have to collaborate with the various embassies to make sure. And what I'm saying about communication is also because if we don't step up the communication, most of these youth even end up there and they avoid authorities. So how are you even going to encounter them sometimes? Except when they are in a very extreme hardship before they will seek. But then we should be able to have some counselors attached to our various embassies who can counsel this youth, whilst at the same time, we're also stepping up our communications in the country. If we can engage with the media houses to let them explain such challenges that some of these youth will go through. And you are right, my sister. I read about these things in the Sahel Desert. There was some family that came to Canada. It was very bitter winter. By the time they crossed the snow, it was winter time. A couple of them, their legs had to be amputated. How would you travel to just go lose your, physical being? So we will work along those lines with Minister, and then I'm hoping that the youth will understand better now. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Last but not the least question, the issue of passports. The acquiring of passports by most Ghanaians is still a difficult one. I'm not talking of cost. I'm talking of process. Today, because we all talk digitalization, we tend to forget that some of us are BBC, born before computers. And most of our people in our communities are people who even do not know how to go onto the computer, let alone to apply for a passport. But we have that problem. And that notwithstanding, the whole of the Upper East will have to travel to Tamale before you get a passport. What will you do to ensure that there is decentralization of passport offices?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I think my sister has hit the nail on the head. Thankfully, I was at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs 2 days in a row to get some briefings, and I was informed that they are opening passport application centers. Almost the mandate is to get it in every region. And in fact, some areas, some large populated regions, they may get 2 or 3 outlets. So I can assure you that given, it's a new process that they have entered. Now we have I believe 2 to 3 weeks, passports are ready to be issued. The challenge they said they were having is about delivery because of the way our address system is, and also the courier service that they have to use. So sometimes that is the only challenge, but they are working on it to make sure that almost every region should have an outlet. They should have a passport application center, and they are also going to improve on the courier system. And I'll work with Minister Blakwa at the same time to make sure that we are in this together and encourage it, because that should be the order of the day. Nobody should be traveling all the way from, say, Posiga to Kumasi or to Tamale for a passport. The risk that is involved, we all know the rate of road accidents, so it's all part of the work in progress. Thank you.
Thank you to my brother. I wish you all the best. More grease to your elbows and work harder, because we'll be coming around and sending our people to you. I have refused to give you my mantra because I want to ensure that you actually work hard. If I just say congratulations, bye-bye, and go, you will not work hard. So thank you, and I wish you the best.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, my sister. Save that for future day, and I'm sure I will impress you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, Honorable Jerry Amerishayu.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, the nominee is my very best friend in Parliament. He's a very well-composed person. He knows I don't joke with him. It's just that we are in the line of duty, so I'll be very nice to him. I said I'll be very nice to me. Listen, you're always looking for trouble. I commend you highly for this nomination. I just want to ask you a few questions. The first one is that you're aware the embassy has been closed in Washington, and it was opened and the people were asked to come back home. So all the staff who came back home, we are told, are still at home. Were you briefed yesterday on this, and do you know if the ministry has any plans to have them go back to any new postings, and how soon the ministry intends to do that?
Thank you, Chairman. I would say I didn't get a detailed briefing on that, but I'll take a cue from what you've just said, and will be on my list of inquiry to make sure that the policy direction is followed, and we will put things in order. Thank you.
Thank you. My second question, I don't have a follow-up on the first. My second question is that I see you're very opinionated on the issue of dual citizenship, and that you are virtually becoming the prosecutor of dual citizenship, or the prophet of leading the charge. The president released a list of ambassadors. One of them that I know is a very solid person, but he's a South Korean, and I think he's Ghanaian. And I've also followed what happens in South Korea. It looks like you would have to go through a whole lot of processes before saying that you are no more a South Korean. In fact, you cannot say you are no more a South Korean. That's what I've studied or learned. What would you advise on such a scenario? Is there anything you are thinking of to advise your minister and perhaps the president?
Thank you. In regard to the question you just posed, Mr. Chairman, I think it requires a little bit more understanding of the process that it took to arrive at that decision. And I think it's an executive decision. As I have always said, my position, as you said earlier, you're right that I'm a strong advocate for dual citizenship. And you see, there's no place like home. And many of us, even some of our youth, I'm sure some members have even sent their kids outside to study. That was just an opportunity, right? And some have left our shores on their own accord. But the bottom line is that those of us who at least you reach adulthood of 18 plus and you leave your shores, no matter how long you are out there, because of your family ties, your cultural ties, you feel this is where you belong. And so we all as a nation should work towards this direction to make sure that some of our nationals, dual citizenship or whatnot, should be encouraged to come. And I think that is what I'm championing for. And then, of course, eventually our children and grandchildren can all also come back home. I mean, if we put our country together economically, this country will be one of the most blessed, paradise in disguise. We just haven't tapped the top of it yet. This is a blessed country, and I think we should encourage our people to come as much as they can, or even if you live here for advance, maybe for some studies or whatever, you should be able to come back. And I realized that was what was happening in the 60s and 70s. You know, when I was in secondary school at Advanced, most of my teachers were returnees. They've gone to Russia, they've gone to the Soviet Union at the time, they've gone, you know, came back as chemistry teachers. Our doctors go to Cuba and come back and help the country. We are trained there and they come here. But to say that, well, you left and you can't come back, or if you come back, just, you know, be a spectator, you can't be part of the process. Yes, your remittance will be received in good faith, but we don't need your help. I think it's something that we are doing damage to ourselves. We got a lot of investors, people. If the doors are open, a lot of them will bring resources to build this country. Thank you.
Chairman, thank you. Just a follow-up. So, in all of this, I remember the very venerable Kofi Annan. He did not take up any citizenship anyway, and he doesn't speak like you. His accent is raw like me from Choko and Wejagbawe. Is there any reason why you speak the way you speak and you took up the citizenship?
Thank you, Chairman. I think my friend is alluding to the fact that I don't even recognize I speak differently, but if that's what he's saying, I don't know how long Kofi Annan was out there, out of Ghana. Maybe he was a full-blown adult before he went. I stayed in Canada 42 years, and I think, you know, at the time, we didn't have as many of our cultural people around us, so you deal with what is available to you, right? So, you know, you deal with your white counterparts, your Caribbean counterparts, and so with time, it affects you when you're not even aware of what is affecting you. So I came back, and now I can speak Twi in idioms, because it came just like that. It was in my subconscious mind. So when I started my campaign, I was having challenges a bit. But then even my community were encouraging me to speak English. Even sometimes they didn't understand what I was saying. But, you know, now I can speak full-fledged Twi, Fanti, you know, so my brother, Chairman, my brother here, at a later time, we will engage and then we will speak a common language together. Thank you.
Very well. Do you have more to go?
Yes, Chair. I want to find out from you your very independent view on LGBTQ+.
My independent view, as a true African, I'm not in favor of LGBTQ. You see, I was in Canada when LGBTQ was liberalized. I was one of the people who was against it in my community. So, answer to the question is that I would never support LGBTQ for cultural reasons, for religious reasons, and for the sanity of our own nation. Thank you.
Thank you. My last question. Just want to find out. Chairman is asking me what my views are. Chairman, I'm not in that chair, but if you want to know, I'm a typical girl boy. I don't know, straight. Hello. My uncle is here, don't trap me. Chair, I just want to find out from my very good friend whether or not the 24-hour policy has anything to do with the Foreign Affairs Ministry. Are you doing anything with 24-hour policy, if you know? And if you know, what are those initiatives or actions or plans that the government of the day, and specifically the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, is embarking on with reference to your 24-hour policy?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm not privy to any policy at the Foreign Affairs in regards to 24-hour policy, employment policy, but for what I know is that the Foreign Affairs is always, it's almost a pivotal sector for the country. So we have also a mandate to try to attract and work with investors who are coming in. And it should be in line with the government's policies. So, as I said earlier, if I'm looking to collaborate with Minister Ablakwa to see how we can get some project into the country, that will foster 24-hour economy. I think it should be in line, you know, because then the industries, factories, even other businesses that will come in will be able to be part of this 24-hour economy, because then we will have maybe 2 or 3 shifts of work. So I will not say the Foreign Affairs is alienated from the 24-hour. We are all in this together. Thank you.
Chairman, that's my final question. So you are, yes, but this is a follow-up. So you are not in a position to confirm or otherwise whether the ministry was consulted in the broader consideration of the 24-hour policy design?
Thank you, Chairman. I think answer to that is at this point in time, I'm not. I will learn as we get to the sector. If you give me the nod, and I get there, as you the leader indicated earlier, we're very good friends, and we can always speak even outside the normal frame of arrangement of talk with the House. I can furnish any information that is available. Thank you.
Chair, thank you very much. I want to wish my very good friend very well, and I am praying that he has the support of this committee. He's so much on my heart. He's a very good man.
I think the committee is likely to take unanimous decision. Jerry Ahmed, we are taking unanimous decision.
Chairman, you don't have my leaders, so and I can't jump. It's just my personal view of my friend.
To give the floor to Deputy Ranking, Honorable Patricia Piaget.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair, for this opportunity. And my brother, Honorable Kwesi, I'd like to congratulate you for this. I've been looking at your CV, and I find it very interesting, especially the area where you had to study at John Brown College of Applied Arts and Technology. I was actually wondering, the discipline you undertook in that particular instrumentation and nuclear engineering diploma. Would you mind telling us a little bit of what it entails? Because I'm very much interested in that one.
Thank you, Chairman. Yes, if you look back to my resume, the time was sometime in '84 when I graduated in that. As a young man, fast track. When I was at infant swim, I took to the O levels, both science and arts. So when I went in as a young man, obviously there was that initial cultural shock. My whole intent was to study and get work and earn a living. I never thought I would be able to integrate into the culture. But once I graduated, you know, sometimes they say destiny is not what you control. I graduated that program in '84, and then there was just in '83, there was a nuclear accident. Because nuclear accident back in the Soviet Union time, there was nuclear accident in the Chernobyl, which is today's Ukraine. Canada also suffered its own minor nuclear reactor accident in Pickering, which is a suburb of Toronto where I was living. The arrangement was that the nuclear agency had a contract with George Brown College of Applied Arts and Technology where they will recruit the students right after graduation. They take you to their site. You are given facility to live. You paid. And just at '83, this whole dream was shattered. So then our recruitment didn't come on. And the professor was so kind to me that he offered me, I was a TA at the time, he offered me a lab technician to work along with him to train the incoming students. Through that arrangement, I decided then I'll go back to university, and that's when I entered into social sciences. So this is the journey of my life. Why I didn't work with that instrumentation, that was my focus at the time, to go into nuclear science. So thank you very much.
A follow-up, Mr. Chair. Are you aware that currently in Ghana, Ghana is pursuing the opportunity to establish a nuclear energy facility in the country for the use of power and energy? Are you aware of that fact?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. I've heard about the talk or discussion on that subject, but I haven't gone deep into it.
And would you recommend, because you know there is a general perception that nuclear power is dangerous, but at the same time, it's one of the safest means and cheapest means of electricity supply and the promotion of industries. Would you recommend? And if you have, I don't know if you still follow it up, which country would you recommend to promote this agenda for the country Ghana? Thank you.
As it stands right now, Ms. Chairman, I think my sister has asked a very intelligent question. But I think globally, most countries that I know are shying away from nuclear energy at this point because of we are looking at green energy now. So I think that I'm not going to totally, if I'm ever consulted, totally deviate from advising them, but comparatively, I think solar energy will be even more appropriate for a country like Ghana because we got abundant sun, 12 hours of sunlight, and I think that will be even the cheapest way of getting our energy sources. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Having been in that institution, that's a second follow-up, in that field, I was expecting you to rather educate people because we have various usage. Anyway, but I think you really explained your limitation as an initial exploratory. So I'll grant you that one. Thank you very much. And I'll go on to my next observation. You went to Fansipim Secondary School, Ghana. At the time you finished your education, what certification were you given? Because I have here with you me high school diploma. At that time, were they offering high school diploma or GCE and O level? I mean, I don't know. I need that kind of clarification. Would you seek the leave of the chair to correct it if you have to do so? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. I think my sister friend here is very critical, and I think it was my putting together as the thought is today to bring awareness or understanding, because most of the panel may not even know what GCO level is all about. So I thought the easiest way to say the diploma is what is offered these days. So we alluded to that. But I stand corrected that there was a GCO level. Thank you.
I asked if you would seek the leave of the chair to correct that information because it's very much required. This is a house of record.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, I would like to seek a leave to make a correction on that. Thank you.
Leave granted at request.
Thank you very much, Honorable. On the same educational background, Penworth, is it a preparation school or a preparatory school? Preparation or preparatory? Penworth. Penworth School, the primary school that you attended. Was it a preparation school or a preparatory school? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It was a preparatory school, which means I did 6 years, grade 1 to 6. Thank you, Miss.
So please, would you, as we are asking the leave of the chair, to correct that one too. Thank you. Would you?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to make a...
Leave consequentially granted.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have also observed in your employment history that you were engaged as a policy analyst and as in social services at the Toronto City. And may I please get education on that and how we can relate that to our local governance system. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The policy analyst at the city level of Toronto, Employment and Social Services, this is a department where you analyze the budget that is allocated to the metropolitan city. We have a department where we have budget specialists, we have engineers, all city stakeholders, where we formulate budget to determine how to develop a community. And also sometimes it's for maintenance of the community. So like here, we don't, unfortunately, maybe we're still growing our economy to a point where everything, as you members or we all know, they call on you, the MP or the DCE. Here, the institutions actually work. So this is where we are able to sit down and allocate within the municipal the office itself what amount should go to city engineer, what amount should go to infrastructure, community. All budget is where, this is where most of the advocacy happens. So as an analyst, you work along with them. They'll bring their, I guess, proposals and requests, and then you see what is needed for every sector, or not a sector per se, but every department to carry on with their regular duty. They have maintenance issues with vehicles, procurement, and all that. So this is where that direction is. Thank you.
Right, Honorable Chair, I'd like to follow up on that. Honorable Nominee, are you aware that in preparing our budget, especially the one pertaining to your constituency, what is the constituency name? Asin North. There's always a preparatory aspect of it where you engage the community, where the planning officers within your district are supposed to engage the community and then come up before the allocations are even made. I want to find out from you, have you ever engaged yourself that way? Because you are an asset. What you did in the city of Toronto could be transferred to your constituency. You are an asset. Are you not in the know, or you've never had the opportunity to transfer that kind of institutional memory to your constituency? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have not had the opportunity, but I know that I'm a member of the Assembly, and so we'll be pursuing that. Again, I don't want to go back to my experience of the last 4 years, because it wasn't a smooth operation for me to be more participatory until this recent times. So yes, I think we will also be able to guide the district engineers and in preparing their budget and those things to see how best we can. Because unfortunately, you see, the money comes in a bulk, or sometimes there's no money at all. So it's so difficult to, unlike the experience I had, your budget is allocated to you, I mean, in entirety, so you can pick and choose and make your own planning as to how to conduct the operations. But yes, I think it's a learning process, again, for our communities. So I'll take that advice as well and try to engage them a little bit more to see how best we can organize a better planning for them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable, I'm looking at strengthening diaspora engagement. The Ghanaian diaspora, estimated at over 3 million globally, contributes significantly, according to the Bank of Ghana figures. Even in 2023, they contributed to about 4.3 billion by way of remittances. However, there's such limited consular challenges and barriers to diaspora investment, and this persists continuously. Going to be the deputy for the Foreign Affairs Ministry, how will you enhance diaspora engagement or support your minister to enhance diaspora engagement, improve consular services, and create incentives for diaspora investments in sectors like agriculture and technology? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I think the sector, as I spoke had a meeting with the sector directors, as well as a briefing I had from Minister Blackwell. I think there's a part already where they have created under his own watch what they call delivery section or bureau, you may want to call it, that is going to be more working directly with the embassies to improve what my sister, honorable leader, just said, that I think it's been brought to the attention similarly what you just described. So this is more or less a personal, they're accountable to the minister per se. This new bureau, which is the delivery bureau, is accountable to them. They are going to measure the performances of some of this as an oversight to make sure they address the issues and concerns of the aspirants who are seeking help in those embassies and consular generals. Thank you.
Nominee, my next question is, are you aware that Ghana maintains a non-aligned foreign policy? If no, then you correct me, but if yes, are you aware? Then I'll come up with my follow-up question.
Thank you, Chair. I'm very aware that Ghana is towing the non-aligned movement. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Therefore, balancing relationships with the global powers like the United States, China, and the European Union. Recent discussions such as the US-China rivalry over critical minerals in Africa place Ghana in a very delicate position. Given its significant bauxite and lithium deposits, how will you support your minister to ensure Ghana's foreign policy remains independent while maximizing benefit from partnerships with these powers, particularly in securing favorable trade and investment agreements? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I think, again, my honorable member has asked a very important question. There's a policy that, executive policy that should align with sector's implementation of such. You cannot individually as a department decide what you think is very appropriate for you to do. It has to be in line with the manifesto and government's agenda. It's a collaboration of so many executive and sector decisions that has to go into place. Technocrats and all that has to be on board. So, as I said earlier, we are non-aligned, and we should not be seen as leaning to one side more than the other, because circumstances can always change, you know, and then you find yourself boxed into something you can't get out. So my response to your question is that I'll follow keenly the directives of the ministry as collaborated with the executive, and make sure that I give my maximum effort for achieving what will not put our country in jeopardy. This is first and foremost, Ghana comes first. As President Trump would say, America comes first. He should also know that we also have a country, so we also come first. Thank you.
Thank you. On climate issues, climate change and environmental diplomacy, it really poses a significant challenge to Ghana, including coastal erosions in areas like Kata and flooding in the north and all that. and it really threatens livelihoods and food security. So it's an issue that we should be looking at carefully. Ghana has committed to the Paris Agreement and seeks international support for climate adaptation. As a deputy, and I know your work is quite broad, what strategies would you support your minister to pursue to position Ghana as a leader in environmental diplomacy, secure climate finance, and ensure that international partnerships address Ghana's specific climate vulnerabilities? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. I think green energy is the way to go. Ghana should be seen as investing our resources more in that direction, whether it's hydro, electricity, whether it's transportation. You know, we should be seen as towing that direction, and with that, I'm sure investors in this climate change will really realize that if this is our policy, then they should be more than comfortable to invest, because climate change does not only affect the existing community, or we might say, well, Adan is having flooding and all that, but it affects everybody. It affects our food chain. It affects diseases, whatever comes, you know, the wind has no limit where to blow. And so we all know when some pandemics or whatever happens here, it happens everywhere. So we have to be seen as working towards that. If you're looking for investor support in certain areas, you have to be seen as doing the same, or at least showing the example. You can't be importing in diesel buses when you say you want to tackle climate change. At some point, we may not even be driving diesel Land Cruisers anymore. We should be seen as augmenting and changing our life practices that will reflect climate change for our future generation. And so by that means, investors will look at it that we are serious about policy of green energy, and will put money. They also know it affects them all the same. Yeah, we have to be mindful that the West or the investors just don't invest simply for the sake of the love for the country. They invest because they're getting something out of it. And I always make example to my community when I go there. I say, back in the days, all of a sudden you say, oh, Ghana received 1,000 tractors free. There's nothing free. We go out there and we cut tapes and do fanfare. But for the next 50 years, we're buying parts from the country that donated the buses. And we're creating employment for them, while we are here just consuming. So these are some of the things we have to look at. And I bring enough experience and expertise in that direction to support my minister. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable. But my last question, and that is, you mentioned that your role in your sector is pivotal in nature. And looking at the span of work that you have to undertake, and most of the time it takes you out of the country, do you think that having just one deputy minister will help you address the issues that is facing your ministry at this point in time? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. I think Minority Leader has asked a very important question again. And I can assure her that given the limited amount of ministers the president decided to appoint, this is part of our manifesto pledge, and we intend to honor that. And for that reason, I think he's put a lot of consideration into his appointees to see how strong and how formidable they are going to be able to handle the work that is assigned to them. And I can assure you, I'm relentless, and I'm a globe trotter. So traveling is nothing to me at all. I'm used to it, so I can handle it. And I think Minister Ablakwa and myself should be able to handle the sector effectively. Thank you.
Finally, Honorable, I wish you well, but I would like to find out something very critical. As a Ghanaian, I always meet you on the corridors, hoping to speak Fanti with you, but I never get it. Do you speak Fanti?
Thank you, thank you, Chairman. Mpocho Metefanti. And I'm a country super. Thank you.
I wish you well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Zurela, I'm going to permit you to ask one and only one question as a friend of the committee. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Thank you for your magnanimity. Congratulations once again, my brother. Yapume.
Mpocho Boko.
Chairman, before I ask my question, I just want us to look at page 2 of the nominees' CV. Mpacho yonko page 2 in your 1971, Winneba Teachers College, Ghana, General Education.
Please, when you speak the Fanti, then you speak English so that we can, the hands that can capture it.
All right, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, on your CV, nominee, Winneba Teachers College, General Education, Teaching, Diploma, 1971. I happen to have grown up in Winneba, and I want to assume that I grew up on the same campuses where you obtained the general education.